In this video, we're gonna exercise our creative muscles and create these images inside of a parking lot.
My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in.
What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV. So check this out. I have about an hour to kill before Kiara and I actually head out to our actual shoot location. In the meantime, we're in a parking lot. I thought it'd be a fun exercise just to go through and create some great images, even in spots that might be unconventional. I'm gonna walk you guys through the process with each one of these shots. Let's go ahead and introduce you to our subject and model. This is Kiara. We're gonna go ahead and link her up so you guys can give her a follow as well. And one of the things that I thought would be cool and fun is Kiara has this kimono-y / business casual outfit on, which has these really light tones that very much match the kind of tones that we're getting right now in this parking lot with the sun shining through. So we're gonna look for shapes, look for interesting light, and we're also gonna add some light on our own. For this shoot, pick whatever camera you like. I'm gonna be going between a 24-70 and a 7200 for my lenses. I'm gonna be adding a flash here and there. So let's go ahead and jump straight into this. Okay, so for shot number one, actually, I thought this spot looks really cool. The light is coming in from the back side of this. And by the way, we're on the Canon R5. This is the 28-70 f2, my favorite lens of all time. But use what you got. If you can match the focal length, it's gonna look very similar either way, okay? So use what you have in this. Here, I'm gonna show you guys kind of what I'm seeing straight on, okay? So if I take a shot of this, so this is what the straight on shot looks like. Now, what I wanna do for this first shot is I actually wanna get down quite low. So I'm gonna get down to the ground, and our viewfinder is gonna help a lot right here, our LCD. We're gonna position Kiara kind of right against the highlights that are kind of coming in from the background. And what I'm also gonna do is actually up the ISO. I think this is one of those scenes that would look really cool with all of these highlights sort of blown out. So we're actually gonna leave them very bright. I'm gonna shoot wide at 28 millimeters. Kiara's gonna be right there on that center line. And there it is. I dig that. Okay, so one thing that I'm gonna do from this, I'm actually gonna add a little bit of a light source. It's already bright, and yes, I could get away with not doing it, but I feel like adding a light is gonna clean up and add a little bit more light direction to the face. It's gonna look really nice, even while keeping the image super bright. So let's do that. I have here a Profoto A10. It's on a Manfrotto Nanostand. Grab whatever flash you got. Any flash is gonna be totally fine for this. We're gonna pop on the grid as well, okay? Now for the cold shoe, I'm using the MagMod cold shoe. It's really nice, easy to use. I'm actually going to have this light coming from the left side, and the reason for that is you can see that there's kind of a window light right here on this left side. So I'm gonna match that light that's already on our face. And it's gonna be a very low power setting, okay? So we're just gonna use it to clean up light just a bit. Okay, it's set to channel 2B, so let's go ahead and pop the remote to channel 2. We're on B. I'm gonna power this down to like a 5 for right now. It's placed just a little bit higher than Kiara, angled down a little bit to give us a nice bit of direction and have a natural angle. Now I'm gonna take the same shot. Kiara, scoot a tiny bit this way, right there. And then lean into this right side. And let's have you, looking to the flash, let's just get a look. Oh, I love that. Okay, so I kind of guessed pretty close to where we need to be, which is, I'm actually going to lower it by just a little bit, okay? So I'm gonna power it down. You know what, it actually looks pretty good right there. I'm at a 5 right now. Kiara, 1 inch this way. There you go, right there. Okay, I'm framing with that ceiling kind of leading into her. Kiara, I want you to kind of bring the chin over to the side of the light. That's it, and now go ahead and move with it. I love that. Bring the chin a little bit this way. Hold that exact pose. And just move your feet a little bit to the left. Right there. And do the same thing, same pose. That's it, right there. Perfect. I love that. It has such a cool look to it. Okay, so this is the before shot that you guys are seeing right now. Check this out. Here's the before.
Oh.
These are the actual shots.
Oh, I love it. That's with the flash.
Yep. And the only difference here is just getting a lower angle, brightening the exposure, using that flash at a low power just to clean up the light, and we get a really cool shot. Let's go and find another one. Right here from this spot, there's actually another really cool shot. It's straight ahead of me. What I'm seeing is the light is naturally kind of graduating into these lines in the background. That looks really cool. Honestly, we're probably gonna need a 7200 because we really need to zoom into this to exaggerate it and to really focus in on it. So let me grab my 7200, I'm gonna show you what I'm seeing. So if I was to shoot this shot wide, it's really not gonna be much to look at, okay? So I'm gonna take this shot kind of wide. This is what it is. But if I actually zoom in on that spot right in the center, step into it just a little bit, you'll start to see what I'm actually noticing, which is this really beautiful, not only shape, like we have this really great geometric framing in the shot, but then we also have this background that kind of drops from a highlight down into a darker area. So what I want to do is actually place Kiara in that spot, and we might use the flash again to kind of lift her out a little bit. But for now, let's grab Kiara and let's toss her over in that spot. Kiara, do you want to grab the hat on this one? She has this like cool hat that we're going to accentuate with. I'm not going to have you put it on for this one. I want you to just kind of accentuate off to the side with it, okay? But go and stand right in that spot inside that frame. One of the things that I want to do here is I want to really control my height and my angle because she's going to have a bit of a hair light. So if I place her in the right spot, go back a little bit, Kiara. Right there, scoot a little bit this way, right there. Okay, so she has a little bit of a hair light right now where you're going to be able to see it so long as I don't place her low. So Kiara, bring the hat down actually to the side. If I go down low too much, then the brightness of the background kind of erases the hair light, right? So if I have her a little bit more in that darker space of the shot, then we're gonna see the hair light just a little bit more. So I'm gonna stay up a little bit higher and right about here. Kiara, maybe come forward a tiny, tiny bit. Come forward, walk forward. There you go, right there. You know what, we get you, lean back, go back all the way to the wall. Yes, all the way, right there, and scoot this way, right there. Lean against the wall. Make it kind of part of it. That's it, right there. I love that. Okay, that looks so cool already. All I'm gonna do now is bring my light in just for a little bit of an accent piece, okay? So let's go ahead and grab this light. I wanna do the same thing as before. I want this light to follow where the natural light source was in the shot. I like how you're like looking into the camera, like here. There we go. Yes. So our light is gonna be right here. Yes. Okay, let's get our power now. I already have pretty close to where I want the exposure to be. I'm gonna go 1/200 just to keep my sync a little bit more simple. Let's get our focus and let's test. Oh, that looks gorgeous. So you'll see the before shot versus that shot with the light, and it just does a beautiful job of cleaning it up. Kiara, I'm gonna have you scoot just a little bit to this side just to put you in a spot that's a little bit darker. Right there. Go back a little bit. This way a little bit. There. Right there. Now, kind of looking towards that light. Beautiful, just like that. Oh my gosh, I freaking love that. I'm gonna power up the flash even a little bit. I'm gonna take it up to 7. So remember, an A10 is roughly around 75 watt seconds. So it's a little bit more powerful than a standard flash, but we're running it at fairly low power. So think like on a standard flash, this would be like maybe 1/4 power-ish, okay? That's it. I love having the hat right there. That looks so cool. Kiara, look to the left. That's it, right there. Oh, I love that. Yes. You can look even more to that side. Bring the hat into it. Beautiful. The reason why our flash still looks natural is because we're keeping our base exposures bright. And I'm also matching the flash with the existing light direction. So it keeps the flash subtle because we're using a lower power, brighter ambient light, and we're maintaining that same direction. Cool, we've got another shot. Let's look for a third angle. So far, you'll notice that I'm digging that brighter aesthetic for this shoot. So I'm gonna stick with it for one more set right here. This time, I wanna go with this kind of angle where we get a lot of really great shapes in the background. You could do this with a 7200 if you want to back up and kind of compress all of it. You could also do it with like a 2470, anything in between. Honestly, really, I want you guys to pay attention to the focal length and where I'm standing in these positions and how we're framing. That's what's going to matter most. Not matching the lens or the camera, it's understanding the focal length, and our positioning is going to get you there. So let's decide on that now. Let's see. I think for this one, I'm going to go back to my 2870. So this go around, I kind of want you leaning onto this wall where this light is going to be lighting you up, okay? So we're using now the light direction coming in just from this open side of the sky as our main light. And now we get these great shapes. From my angle, I can also see this beautiful highlight landing right behind her. So I might even zoom in for a couple shots there. There's some really great angles of natural framing. In fact, I'm gonna take the first shot with that so you can kind of see exactly what I'm looking at. Let's go ahead and brighten up the exposure a bit. I'm gonna turn off the remote. Okay, I wanna start with that close up. You know what? Let's go back to the 7200 here. As she's standing there, I'm kind of realizing that we had it right the first time. So look at this. I'm gonna zoom right in and you're gonna see this beautiful highlighting. Look at that. Where you see this highlight just perfectly framing the face and dropping back. That's the light coming in from those yellow trees in the background, bouncing off this angle. So that's it right there. I'm gonna go ahead and shoot. I love that. We're at 1/200 of a second. I'm gonna go ahead and raise the shutter speed just a little bit, and let's raise the ISO a bit. I'm gonna make sure that I'm not blowing anything out as well. I'm gonna go up to about 1/800th of a second and 800 ISO. Reason being is I just wanna make sure that, like, we're getting this really great wind and texture in the hair. I wanna make sure that that's captured. Now I'm gonna go through the viewfinder so I can pay extra close attention to compositions. I'm gonna get down low. So getting down low is gonna be the difference between really bringing those highlights right against the face. That's it. You can kind of see when I'm standing up, look at where the highlight is as I'm standing. You can see how high the highlight is on the shot. When I'm kneeling down, then I get the highlight right where the face is. Get this really beautiful look, draws attention right into the shot. I love that this is just natural light. I'm gonna come in close on this, get me some eyes right into the camera. Beautiful, beautiful. Work the positions. Yes, beautiful. Beautiful. As I step back a little bit more, it allows me to zoom in and just compress a little bit more of the background. So pulling the background forward a little bit more, which makes those columns not only kind of come in closer, but it allows us to use the background without seeing, see there's a number 3, a level 3 in the background. If I step back and zoom in, it lets me kind of crop that out and fill the frame. I love that. Do that same thing, just move a couple inches this way, Kiara. I love that. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah, and then lean up against the wall, bring like that right hand to the hat. Yeah, so this one, I had her grab the hat again because she digs the hat, I dig the hat. Let's bring the hat into it. Bring a hand up to the hat. There you go. I love those. Look how fun these are. You would never think that, you know, a spot like this would have so many of these kind of opportunities, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at the highlights on the wall and kind of how it frames the face. Okay, so we're about 50, maybe 100 feet from where we were. There's this kind of cool set of columns here that we can shoot through. We're gonna get a lot of great shapes like what we've been doing so far. The trick here is gonna be getting it bright to kind of match the same look as we had over there. So let's start by just deciding our composition. So Kiara, I'm gonna have you step into this. You don't have to go through it. You can if you want to show off. Okay, I can't walk through that. Nope. All right, so what I'm thinking in terms of composition is I want to shoot some shots that are like kind of back here a little bit, where we get this great highlighting. I'm at 1/200 of a second and ISO 400 f2, right? So we're already kind of bringing the ISO up a little bit. It's still on the dark side compared to what we were shooting over there. I also want to step in though, and you'll notice that when I step in, I can kind of use the side walls of this to frame. Okay, so I love that where we can see the two windows in the background. I like both those shapes. I have an idea. Let's use, since we're surrounded by white, I'm gonna use my flash and I'm actually gonna place it right behind. So notice that I don't have any modifiers on here. I'm gonna place this directly behind her. And I'm gonna place it where it's below her. So it's kind of right at her shoulders. So I'm not gonna see it in the shot, but I'm gonna angle this up. So it's kind of hitting the ceiling. Not kind of, it actually is hitting the ceiling more so than anything. So this light's gonna flood through the back, sort of like the sun. Let me power this on. Just to not confuse me, I'm gonna go ahead and set this to channel 2, but group A, okay? And now, let's adjust the power. I'm gonna start at around 8, which is 1/4 power, roughly. Okay, I'm again on the 28 to 70, so 2470, a wide angle, a 24 or 35 will all work great for this. I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot just to see where our exposure is coming in at. Okay, that's already looking really cool. I think we're a little bit bright on that, so I'm gonna bring it down, maybe 1 stop. Let's see it. Better. Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Let's keep working that. Oh, they're so cool. Let me get back. I love all of these. They're so fun. It's such a huge difference. Look at this. When the flash fires versus when it doesn't, you can kind of see the difference and what it's doing to this entire room and the way it's adding light. We're getting that bounce to come up and forward. It looks fantastic. Okay, we're done. Hope this gives you all some ideas. Even the most plain situations, y'all can create no matter what. If you guys enjoyed, y'all know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below. I love reading them and seeing what you guys think. We'll also link up Kiara so you can give her a follow. We'll also post all the links for the gear that we used in the description of the video. Meanwhile, have fun. See you guys in the next video. Peace.